Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you're joining us from today. Tom Ackland in Frederick, Maryland, and Hasina Patel in Newcastle, South Africa. And we greet you with a meditation. And whatever sound you can hear right now that's not my voice, I welcome you to attend to that just very briefly. And let's let our eyes close if that's comfortable. And get present to the feeling of your places of contact, however you're sitting. Don't worry about changing anything, just notice where your feet are contacting the earth, where your butt might be contacting the seat. You might be able to feel your clothes draped. You might be able to feel your lips on each other. And you might be able, if you're outside, you may be able to feel the breeze that seems like a changing substance. And let's just get very present to the idea that our bodies are always changing substance as well. You might even be able to feel your rib cage expand on a breath. You might feel yourself as you restlessly move. If you choose to notice that the movement isn't wrong, we're always mobilized in contact with the thing that looks like it's outside of us. And let's converge our focus for a moment. And the very first thing that you hear, focus on that just for a moment. See how long you can maintain attention on that one thing before something else catches your attention. And then let's give ourselves permission to listen to more than one thing. Maybe even see the brain say, is that possible? Watch all the flavors of dialogue that are appearing in your brain as you hear my voice, as you hear the acorns drop, as you hear the plane descending. Give yourself permission to know that every sound is part of the fabric. This will always be the case. And as we navigate through life, we tend to want to get the next thing done. And the thing that appears often seems like it's the thing to get done, whether it be somebody's voice asking us a question or a door opening that we have to jump out of the way of. And in this space of what we're calling divergent attention, letting it all happen, there's nothing to protect. There's nothing to prove. And when you're comfortable, let your eyes open up and be with the sense of surprise of whatever the new light is that's entering the retina, landing on the retina. And we can be with the idea that in this space of nothing to prove, nothing to deflect, nothing to defend, in this divergent focus where all that is happening really is the ecosystem of the metaphysics of who we are, constantly changing, constantly in contact, all of the different barrier systems of our body. We breathe brand new air with brand new respiratory lining thousands of times a day. We listen with new eardrums thousands of times per second. And we find ourselves in new biomechanical body position thousands of times per hour. In this space of nothing to prove and nothing to know, Reinhold Niebuhr's beautiful serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Still might be footed in a very personal something to know or something to defend, or I am alone sort of exploration. It feels like a very free exploration. And at the same time, it's me doing it. I'm the one doing the exploring. We're going to talk in a moment here about divergent focus and being able to have the wisdom as a collective, leveraging each other, leveraging our connections. And I'm going to stop speaking right now and listen to the beautiful Hasina speak the words that I can metaphysically take responsibility for. I know I'm connected. I know as Tom, I have nothing to say alone. And I can take full responsibility and joy in the words that come out of her mouth that I know must be me, because in the metaphysics, that which is meeting me is always called for. So, my dear, what is called for this afternoon?
That was a beautiful collaboration. And I say collaboration because our energies were collaborating. Okay, Tom, so what is called for this afternoon? Let's see what emerges. And in the silence, you see, when we're listening and giving our full attention to another who is speaking, in that space of silence and creation, there's a beauty and an easiness in listening to that. What happens when there is only the space of silence? And Tom, you were speaking about nothing to protect, nothing to defend, nothing to deflect, and all these concepts. And the real power of listening is, can our mutual silence collaborate, connect, communicate, and listen? So we're going to take about 2 or 3 minutes of just silence and being in that space. And we'll get back after that and just be with that. And in this silence, you may listen, you may allow the thoughts to pass you by, allow yourself to allow whatever is coming in and out. Just be with the silence. And as we come slowly back from the silence, is it easy to look ourselves in the eyes, in the silence, and just be with that? Do we acknowledge the communication that we had? And there's something very sacred about the silence. And as we went through the silence, perhaps we have to learn to trust the silence and learn to trust the space that we're in, that we can be silent. And Tom, when you were doing that beautiful meditation, dear, there was a space where I could have my eyes closed, just be in the space with you, because I trust that space and I trust you. And how may we create that space just together, embracing the silence and learning something from it. And what about non-verbal silence, where we communicate via writing? I've always said I don't necessarily like social media platforms that have very few words that you can comment with, because I feel muted, like I can't express myself. What if we can use that silence in writing and just throw words into the silence and express exactly the energy that we mean to convey? And that's what we can end with. What did the silence mean to you? And the call to action. How can you embrace the silence and learn to trust it? Do you feel safe in the space of silence? And what will make you feel safe? And can we communicate in very few words and many spaces of silence? Ask yourself, tell us. And maybe you'll tell us in words in the comments below. Or maybe you'll tell us with your silence and the words in between carefully placed, conveying your energy. This has been a privilege, and it's been a privilege with you, Tom. It's always a privilege with you.
And you, thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.